Alright, so here's my exhaust insert for the Akrapovic. So I made a little modification to this one. I mean, you saw the last version of it, and basically I just shortened this section right here a little bit more. And everything's pretty much still the same. So I actually redid the math. So I have well, I redid the math because I couldn't remember what the numbers were. But anyways, so I remeasured this space, this ring here. The original volume here was 1.4 square inches. If I did this, the whole entire thing, then with this insert right here, put in this got reduced down to just over 1 square inch. It's like 1.0 something, almost 1.1 square inch. But let's call it a square inch basically. So the original was the whole diameter is about 1.4 square inches. And I measured my little holes here as well, and this actually comes out to 1.24 square inches. So basically 1.25 square inch. So this is still more, more volume flow, more surface area, more flow through here than it is through this ring here. So if you look at it, the lengthwise, there's 3 and 2. Prior to this, I had, what was it, 5 and 4 or 4 and 3 or whatever it was. I forget what it was now, but it was a lot bigger. So I shrunk it down a little bit. So hopefully this will quiet it down some more. And as far as flow goes, it still still flows fine. It still flows more than stock. The stock is less than 1 square inch. The stock one is I forgot what the stock one was. I calculated it so long ago now. It's been a couple weeks now. I think the stock one was like 0.8, around 0.8 square inches. So this here is still bigger, by 20% or so. And this right here is bigger by what is that? 40%, over 40%, maybe 45% or so. So still plenty of flow. Why did I shrunk this down? It's because it was still too noisy. The noise actually got louder than the previous version, right? If you look at my previous version, I had this one in here, and this was basically attached like that, like so. It was like that, and this one's actually pretty big too. It has more volume here, but anyways, when I had this one, it was actually quieter. This one, like this, was quieter than this one, being a little bit longer, being now a little bit longer. So this one was basically the same as the original length of this one right here. So this one was actually quieter, less volume. But the difference between this one and this one when it was longer was that this one was quieter, so less in volume. But this one right here, this design here, was actually there was less high pitch, So I'm not sure if so this one was louder, and this one was quieter, but this one sounded like it was deeper. There was less high pitch. I'm not sure if it was actually, as far as the frequency, the sound frequency, I'm not sure if it actually got deeper or not, or it's just because this design basically got rid of the high frequency and it just sounded deeper because of that, or it actually got deeper and the actual tone actually changed, versus just eliminating high pitch and all that stuff over was lower pitch. So it sounded like it was changed, but it actually didn't really change. If you get what I'm saying. So basically to hopefully reduce the volume, the loudness even more, shrink this down a little bit, and that should also help as well. So that's a tip. Let's look at the can itself. You look here in the can. I'm not sure you guys could see this compared to last time. You see further in, you see the perforated section is it's like a bluish or purplish color. Then later towards the outside, the end, it's more like a straw color. And I showed you the guys last time, but the difference because last time the blue didn't go out as far. It was only like about halfway, and the other half was the straw color. So now it's further out because, you know, again, it had to do with that change with the length here, right? Because this length was like so. So the last time, wherever this was, you know, before this it was blue, but after this it was a straw color. But now with this one here, it went all the way up to here till it was blue. Then only this last section here is the straw color. So since I shortened this even more, it should bring that up even more. You know, it should bring that straw color further back more, or the blue color further back more. So that means that's, you know, there's more of the perforation is getting hotter than less. And what that basically means was that you know, as far as riding it goes, you know, previously, and even with the stock setup, it was like this too. When I had that longer tube in here, the front half was really hot. I mean, it was really hot. I could barely, you know, after riding for like 50 miles or so, I could barely do this, and that's about as much as I could touch it. You know, I couldn't hold it there basically. It would, you know, it would burn my fingers. So I just do that only. And over here, I was able to put it here. It was hot, but it wasn't hot enough to burn my fingers. I was able to leave it here for several seconds before it, you know, got uncomfortable and take it off. But now with a shorter section, the whole thing is actually more uniform in heat, and then this part right here is actually cooler. This part I was actually able to put it here and leave it there. And over here, same thing. It was almost, you know, the temperature here between the two was almost the same, and this front section was definitely cooler. So I like that. I like that this whole can got more uniform in heat, but also the temperature got reduced in the front end. So that will actually help this front end, because, you know, heat tends to degrade things faster. And, you know, the more heat you put into something, the faster it will degrade. So that should you know, make this can last longer. Overall, the can should last longer because the front end got cooler. And I think this back end got a little bit warmer, but you know, so some of that heat from here went over to here. But you know, overall, the can I think got a little bit cooler that way. So yeah, so I like that. So I'm actually glad that worked out. So that means, you know, more of the can was able to more of this can babe was able to take the heat versus just the front section concentrating all the heat in front. You know, majority of the heat in the front section only. So yeah, so that should make the can last longer. So yeah, so that's the update. I think this is probably about it. I don't think I'm gonna because I know I'm pretty sure it's gonna get quieter. So I don't think I'm gonna mess with the insert here anymore. So as far as noise wise, prior to shortening that insert a little bit, how it sounded was that above 60 cruising, it was quieter than wind noise. And when you wide open throttle, it was probably a little bit louder than wind noise. Below 50, the exhaust was louder than wind noise. So I'm hoping to get it, you know, below 50, the exhaust to be about the same as wind noise, because wind noise below 50 is, you know, it's not loud enough to damage your ears. Usually when you get above 50, and between 50 and 60, it's kind of a wash. Depends on if you have a tailwind or headwind. If you have a headwind, it's going to be noisier. If you have a tailwind, it's going to be quieter. So in that range, it just depends on wind conditions. Yeah. So I'm hoping this new shorter insert section will reduce my my below 50s sound even more so, to the point where it's, you know, basically about the same as wind noise, because wind noise below you know, below 50, going below 50 is no big deal. It's when you get above 50, especially above 50 with a headwind, that's when wind noise is louder. And, you know, it's loud enough to damage your ears. But if you're going with a tailwind, you have to be at 60 miles an hour. So anyways, I just want to get that noise to below hearing damage when you're cruising, basically. And also with this at wide open throttle, it should be a little bit quieter too. So hopefully maybe above 60 at wide open. It's about the same as wind noise instead of being louder than wind noise. But I'm sure below 50 at wide open throttle, below 50, it will still be louder than wind noise. Again, below 50, wind noise is it's not much of an issue. It's not too loud. So yeah, so that's basically it. I don't think I'm gonna mess with this anymore. If I do mess with this some more, I might basically fill in a few of these holes and bring this surface area of the holes down to 1 square inch, just like I have here as 1 square inch. That'd probably be the most I would do. Any more than that, I'm like, no, I don't think it needs it. So yeah, so that's it. So this is version 3.1, I believe it is. All right, thanks for watching.